The slap echoed through the diner like a gunshot. Miguel, a quiet 12-year-old boy, staggered back, his backpack falling to the greasy tile floor. Coins scattered everywhere, rolling beneath the tables of Fat Tony's Burger, the kind of cheap, noisy place where after-school bullies ruled the booths. "Learn to walk straight, kid," sneered Derek Thompson, 16, tall, cocky, and wearing his gold football ring like a crown. Laughter erupted from his friends nearby. Miguel slowly touched his cheek, his dark eyes calm. Far too calm for someone who'd just been hit. "Sorry," he muttered, bending down to pick up his scattered change. "Sorry doesn't fix my sneakers." Derek kicked the coins away. "These cost more than your whole house." The other teens cheered, phones recording the humiliation. But none of them noticed when Miguel quietly slid his phone under the table, its recorder already running. Behind the counter, Dolores, the waitress, hesitated. Everyone knew Derek's father was a wealthy businessman. Miguel, just another poor kid from the wrong side of town, was invisible. She turned away. Derek grabbed Miguel's collar, shoving him against the wall. "My dad says people like you need to learn to respect people like us." Miguel looked him straight in the eyes. "My dad says the same thing, about respect and about consequences." Derek laughed. "Your dad? You probably don't even have one." Miguel's lips curled into a small, chilling smile. "Vincenzo Torino. Maybe you've heard the name." The diner fell silent. Even Derek's grin faltered. Everyone in town had heard whispers about the Torino family. Whispers about power, business deals, and problems that disappeared overnight. But Derek couldn't back down, not with the cameras on him. "You're lying," he spat, but his voice trembled. Miguel picked up his phone, checked the recording, and slipped it into his pocket. "You'll find out soon enough," he said quietly. For the next few days, Derek made it his mission to torment Miguel at school. He stole his backpack, spread rumors, and made sure everyone laughed. But Miguel said nothing. He documented everything. Every shove, every insult, every witness. At lunch, he called his father. "Thompson is testing boundaries," Miguel said softly. "Let him," came the deep Italian-accented voice on the line. "Sometimes the small fish hang themselves if you give them enough rope." By Friday, Derek had gone too far. He and his friends cornered Miguel behind the school bathrooms, far from the cameras. "You think your dad scares me?" Derek growled. "Maybe you don't know the right people," Miguel replied calmly. "You're lying," Derek shouted, shoving him. "What's your imaginary daddy gonna do?" Miguel smirked, then pulled out his phone. "Actually, that's a good idea." He pressed a button. "Hi, Dad," Miguel said. "I'm here with Derek Thompson. You remember I told you about him?" The voice that answered was unmistakable, deep, smooth, with that Italian control that made grown men nervous. "Oh yes," said Vincenzo Torino. "The Thompson boy, son of the real estate developer, right? Interesting family. Put him on the phone." Derek's hand trembled as he took the phone. "Hello. I hear you and my son have had some misunderstandings," Vincenzo said pleasantly. "In my culture, family is sacred. When someone touches my family, it becomes my personal problem." Derek stammered. "Relax," Vincenzo continued, still calm. "I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding. My son is respectful. But me, I solve problems. It's been my specialty for many years." "Yes, sir," Derek whispered. "Good. Hand the phone back to my son." Miguel listened for a moment, nodded, and ended the call. "He enjoyed talking to you," he said politely. "Dad always says it's good to know the families of my classmates." That night, Derek didn't sleep. Every sound outside his window made his heart race. The next morning, his father received a call. "Mr. Thompson," said the voice. "Vincenzo Torino here. I think we should meet." Father to father. Monday arrived like a sentence. Derek walked into school pale and silent. The principal called him in and laid out photos, videos, and witness statements. Miguel had recorded everything. Every insult, every shove, every text Derek had sent bragging about it. His friends had already turned on him. 3 days suspension. Public apology. His family reputation shattered. But Miguel wasn't done. He turned the pain into purpose. He built a presentation, patterns of toxic behavior in educational environments. When he stood on stage, the auditorium was packed with students, parents, teachers, and even reporters. Derek sat in the third row, sweating. Miguel clicked through slides, each one showing Derek's bullying caught on video. Every insult, every victim, every ignored report. The room fell silent. "My first reaction when he hit me," Miguel said, voice steady, wasn't anger. It was sadness, because I realized Derek is a product of a system that protects the privileged and punishes the powerless. He paused. "But that ends today." The applause was thunderous. Parents wept. Teachers stood. And Derek, the king of the school, buried his face in his hands. Months later, Lincoln High had changed. Miguel became student council president and launched an anti-bullying campaign across hundreds of schools. Derek's family moved away. His reputation never recovered. In an interview, Miguel smiled softly. "I didn't destroy Derek Thompson," he said. "I just showed who he really was." Because real power, he learned, isn't in fear, it's in respect. And sometimes, the smallest voices teach the loudest lessons. Moral: never underestimate quiet strength, or the power of truth when it's documented.